out of that pattern of wanting to own ignorance. And that's the reason why I came back here. I didn't necessarily Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Leon, and today we're just gonna have a conversation. A conversation about something that's very practical and very simple. It's not gonna be something that you have to think too much about. But here are the 5 shocking reveals I've had since coming back to Jamaica. It's a pleasure being home, but today we're just gonna have a simple conversation. You kind of notice about moving back to Jamaica, and it's nothing to do with badness or this or that. It's just some basic things that I think that in some case or point, we as Jamaican, we should be improving on, and until we do, we're gonna see the full magnitude of how powerful we are as a country, as a people. Yes, you're not in UK, or you're not in Canada, or you're not in US, but it's assumed that you're in a third world country, but that doesn't mean you need to pretend or act like a third world mindset. These countries they are who they are because they understand basic things. They understand stuff that we take for granted. So that's one of the first one, the elimination of ignorance, because I feel like there's too much ignorance in the country, and you have people living the way they're living because they cannot acknowledge that. Yes, they are ignorant, but there's a change. There can be a change, and that for me is the biggest one. Because once you have ignorance, it's hard for you to take another step towards your good, your growth, your next big thing, and that's a big thing. So that's the first one, eliminating ignorance, because I think that is crucial. People may say, yeah, we don't have the material, we don't have this, we don't have that. When I look and I see the amount of greenery around, and I look and I see the amount of raw material that's around, if you that's watching, if you can find that gold in that tree, that lumber in that tree, your life can be different. And yes, people are gonna say, yeah, there's no market, there's no this, there's that. There's always market around us because we don't do it properly. But we need to be, as a Jamaican, I feel like we need to be more productive. Why are we so low productive? Why are GDP so low when we have so much of this around? Why? That's not real. I don't understand that. You let me know what you think about that. Yeah, so number 3. And number 3 is kind of not necessarily a bad thing. For me, this is a shocking revelation, because I am not gonna never see a higher level of change in terms of building structure here in Jamaica. Like, I think people are starting to understand that we're simply in a country that we have to look out for ourselves, and I feel like people are taking it into their hand to invest into a better structure. Before I leave Jamaica, it used to be a lot of board house. I don't know, over the past 7 years there has not been that, and commendation. People are starting to understand easily that it makes more sense to invest in this rather than that, and that's a commendation, because some of the houses that I've seen in Jamaica, I'm like, wow. So a big commendation, no doubt. No, I don't really know who is necessarily responsible for these fairs, but in terms of the security of citizens, when it comes on to these people that we call them mad people in Jamaica, but they're mentally unstable. I cannot understand how we're in a time like now where, you know, there is more awareness or attraction towards this country, and yet still we still don't have a system in place to house these people and to put them in a stable and safe environment away from people that they can cause harm to. Because I'm pretty sure that you definitely can be harmed by them. There are multiple occasions, there are scenes or scenarios where, you know, you have mad people attacking, you know, civilian and harming them, even killing them. And these are little things that I feel like could be improved and should be, because now more than ever, people's lives can be taken away, but just like that. And it needs to be said that a percentage of this is caused by that. And I feel like today, 25, we need to actually improve that, because people's life can be taken away, and what can you get out of it? It's a mad guy, right? Which is, in my opinion, needs to improve. You know, this has been something that I really feel like someone needed to say something about. But this idea of many Jamaicans, you know, this idea that we grapple on to accept this idea that we're ignorant and we should stay with it. That's not true. Then we should try to improve, because ignorance is the beginning of death. You know what I mean? And if you stay ignorant, and if you accept it, and if you own it, because quite frankly, you have people that just own their ignorance, and it's sad to say and it's sad to see, but no more than ever, we need to break out of that pattern of wanting to own ignorance, because I don't see no blessing, I don't see no upliftment, I don't see no good deeds in owning ignorance. And that for me is number 5. My final thoughts is that we're in a blessed country, and until we can recognize that we're in a blessed country, in a country that's free from all, tucked away in a little Caribbean ocean, you know what I mean? We're blessed. We're blessed with this great, overflowing, miraculously well-dazzled country. And if we treat it as such, and if we take care of what we have and improve on the things that needs to improve on, I think the future is very bright for Jamaica. And that's the reason why I came back here. I didn't necessarily came back here to look good or to whatever. I came back here because this is my home, and the only person that can improve it is the people that say, you know what, I'm gonna leave my mark and I'm gonna leave my print here. Jamaica is my home, you know, and I'm so happy to be back. It's a blessing, and I'm just gonna keep growing, and we're gonna keep growing. My family and I, we're gonna keep growing and take this to another level. And it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna welcome that toughness and push through it, because this is our home. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, share, subscribe, watch the next video on this channel, not watch the next video that's pop up on right here. Until then,